This is just a little video to help out anybody doing the same thing I am trying to do, because info and dimensions were lacking when I was buying this Boondocker 1245-MBA to replace the converter in the Elixer 45. I've already started some disassembly, make things go quicker. Here's the cover. Here is the breaker and bus cover. It is unplugged. The bus is in good shape, as is all this stuff. So I didn't see any reason to replace the entire panel, just this converter system. There was a fan here. I've taken it loose. There's another one to replace. There's a few screws along the back, and then this thing just lifts out. Here's the back of it. If you get the whole panel from Boondocker, you'll have to splice all of this stuff. And I didn't want to do that. I saw no reason for it. You have to cut all that stuff and splice it. And just to see what this looks like in the box. Packed okay. It got here really quick, but it from what I could see, it'll fit right in there, and we'll check it out. Okay, just another little side-by-side shot. So of course these will be taking the place of these, which run through this little slot back here. There was a little bushing that you had to pull out of there to get them to slide out. They make up here for the positive, and the top white here for the negative. This is the DC 12 volt side. This is the 120 volt side. This 30 amp breaker is the feed-in house for the 120 volt power. This 15 amp breaker on the bottom is feeding the unit itself. Okay, here's where it gets not so easy. You've got the two side by side, and as you can see, it's a lot narrower than the old unit, but it's quite a bit deeper. This is 5.5. This was altogether more like 6.5. We've got a depth here of like 5 and change. So the back's going to have to come out of that. Here are the dimensions of this Boondocker 1245 MBA converter 4-stage. This is what the manufacturer, the supplier, didn't supply the dimensions. I couldn't find them anywhere online. So this is probably the key thing of this video. Overall, you've got 9.5 from here to the end of these little bits where lugs could go, but they're not. You've got a height of 4 inches. These little clips, little mounting clips, are 3/4 of an inch, which could be bent or cut off, I guess, if you were trying to do that. But overall, from the clips here to the end here, we're talking 7 1/8 inch. So I hope that helps somebody decide whether or not this will fit where they need it to go. Okay, by doing a little drilling out of some rivets and a little prying, I'm able to take this lower section out. And I'm going to cut the back out so that will fit into the tray. Okay, taking the grinder, cut this bit out of the back so that will now fit in an existing tray. Oops. Sticking out this much. So I'll get some mounting holes ready for the bottom of it and re-rivet this back into the main section. This little LED indicator, which I assume is just tells you it's on or it has power, is now going to be facing the back, so I may remove that and remount it so I can see it in the front. I'll give you plenty of wire to do that. Okay, the back's cut out. I made this little guard out of a bit of material I had. I don't know if it's really necessary, but it'll just protect these cooling fins. And I've pre-drilled some holes in the bottom and pre-tapped some on the case to bolt it in after this bit gets riveted back in place. Okay, so here's the rear view. I have bolted it to some tapped holes I had put in the frame of the converter, and I'll just slide it in and screw it on. And there it is. It's charging the batteries, and it worked without the battery switched on as well, as far as all the other loads. It's hard to get anything else in there. I'll see if I can get a view. Yeah, it didn't just drop right in. It's maybe not for everybody. It's sort of pick your poison. I have no idea if I'd gotten the complete unit, if it had problems fitting in there. I know I would have had to do all those splices, and I know that's an opportunity for failure there. Pretty well went in, you know. There's the red, there's the white. The ground wasn't quite long enough. We'll splice up to the ground bar, and I'll put the cover on and take one more shot. One other comment goes along with the minimal information they give you with this thing. There's a little micro switch here, which I assume is to switch it from lithium to like a steady voltage. It came in this position. I'm leaving it in. And if you look at some of their other items that they have, it's sort of logical to think that's what it is. But if anybody's got a comment, I'd love to know. And here it is done. It took all morning, but I'm pretty pleased with it. Here's a little fan cycling on and off, keeping it cool while it charges. Okay, now the little camper has lithium and a lithium charger. Thanks.